Hi, Richard from California. Hey, Tim. Carrie, just relax. You're okay. Switzerland? That's a tongue twister for me, Ben. Remember, just breathe, Carrie. Just breathe. Right, Raquel? I know. When you don't know what to do, guys, always meditate. We gotta like train ourselves to meditate, right? Because when you're meditating, your body wants to move and do something else. Like you want to grab your phone, you want to be like, oh, I did it, I'm good. But like if you can like control that impulse to grab something or say I'm okay from those distractions and just say, no, you know what, I'm going to stay settled, I'm going to keep meditating. It's just like so many rewards come from doing that. Remind me that I stay calm. Remind me that if I stay calm, that him telling me he'll never. So, Carrie, here's the thing when it comes to what you're saying. Yeah, staying calm, right? These stories, Carrie, that don't serve you, these stories that don't serve you, Carrie, they're very dominant, right? They're hard, right? They seem so real. And all you're doing is relaxing because you soften them, you lessen them. So yes, you only have to stay calm. But see how you're telling me the story and you're bringing it to life again? You want to keep it to yourself and stay quiet and calm. It's not comfortable, Carrie. That's the thing. It's not comfortable holding it in, right? Because we're so used to being taught to vent, get these things off our chest, but we never knew that we created our own reality through our words. And we never knew that we were recreating scenarios in our lives, right? So by you keeping these stories to yourself that don't serve you and going within and softening it and saying it's always working out for me and, soothing yourself in those moments, you're actually releasing it, Carrie. But the big thing for you, another big thing for you, Carrie, is the fact that you need to focus more on yourself. Okay. You need to give yourself that love and attention that you think that he needs to give you. You need to give it to yourself. And we do that by little baby steps, Carrie, just like, what can I do for me right now? Let me relax. Let me take a nap. Let me go take a walk. Let me paint my nails. Let me do my hair. Let me take my time getting ready. That's how we start filling up our own cup, right? Little baby steps. This is definitely working for me. I feel so much better. I even cut my. Oh, that's so great, Linda. Congrats. That's awesome news, Linda. I love that. Thanks, Casey. I lightened it recently. I call it a bleach wash, where I just bleach my ends and just like freshen it up. Tomorrow's my surgery and I'm having a little nervous. It's okay, Linda. Just keep relaxing. It's all gonna work out, right? Just keep relaxing. I was in regards to your surgery, Linda. Just keep relaxing. You know it's all going to work out. Even though you're going to be nervous, it's okay to be nervous. Just even in that nervous feeling, that anxious feeling, we still relax as much as we can. We quiet our minds. We meditate. It doesn't mean you're never going to get nervous or anxious again. You're human and, of course you're going to have those moments. But as long as you keep relaxing your body in those moments, take time to quiet your mind, meditate, focus on your body a lot in those moments, you just start to release those things and you relax more. And guess what? It actually works in your favor. It always, and you realize, oh my gosh, I don't even know why I ever worry. And you start to say that more often. Thanks, Douglas. Well, Michelle, so it's not about, I know that, thank you, Douglas. Don't get too caught up on manifestations, Michelle. They're unfolding in perfect timing. It's for me, and what I've noticed in many people that I have resonated with what I talk about through my experiences, those things are all done. What you want is done, Michelle. You don't have to worry about that. It's more about making the best of where you're at now, because this moment does serve a purpose, Michelle. Like these moments that you're in now, the life you're living now actually does serve a purpose. And it's what actually moves you to what you want a lot quicker. When you make it more practical and you make it more of like connecting to your higher self, to let your higher self guide you in each moment, your higher self is going to guide you like in the right, it's your path of least resistance. It's always going to work out in your favor if you keep connecting and you keep making it about this moment, and your life will continuously get better now, right? So do the practices that I talk about. Keep it more present moment. Keep it more about what can I do now to feel good. All those things are done, Michelle. You don't got to worry about those manifestations. Look at it from time to time, just when you feel like it, to remind you like, oh yes, this is what I'm moving towards. But we're not trying to get things too quick. We want to be ready for the things that we're manifesting. We want to enjoy the unfolding. That's the part you want to get to. You want to get to where you're actually enjoying the unfolding of your manifestations. So yeah, so the more meditation, I would like make sure you guys are meditating. Make sure you're meditating every day for a little bit. Even if you have time throughout your day, but if not, do it in the morning. And like I said, your body is going to want to be like, I'm done. I did it. I did enough. It's like that impulsive behavior, like to grab our phone or to like just get up and do something, but keep settling yourself down into those meditations. Keep listening to the nothingness, or if you listen to like a noise or a sound, and yeah, exactly, Michelle, exactly. Right now that we have to our higher selves. That's what I got out of this the most, that I'm always guided and I'm always protected. And there's this little bug crawling on my screen, so it keeps catching my attention on my screen, on my car window. And even in these moments, Michelle, when I would look back, when something was unsettling in the present moment and I'm doing something I just don't want to do, I'm like, I don't feel like doing this. I just kept remaining calm, and it always works in my favor. When I remain, like I always say, calm and kind, I keep it to myself, even though I'm like, I don't really want to do this anymore. I just don't want to do this. Your higher self will guide you. You don't have to do anything. It's just, you have to just keep relaxing, and it'll be the best case scenario. It will work out so well. Cause I always say, everything you're going through, moving towards what you want, there's a best case scenario of everything. That's in your life right now. There's a best case scenario, right? Because you're unlimited, you're infinite, and you want it. That's how you start to enjoy the journey. When you make the best of these moments, accept where you're at, make the best of these moments. There's a best case scenario of these moments. They're leading you to what you want in the best way possible. And that's honestly, I don't ever like to say this to people, because then people get too focused on a manifestation, but it's actually what leads you to your manifestation in the quickest way. But I don't like to say that to people, because then they're back to trying to manifest. We're not trying to ever manifest anything, guys. Ever, ever, ever. Everything is done. Everything that you want is done. Now, Michelle, you're going to have so much fun. See? You're going right back. How much fun are you going to have with your friend? Thanks, Taz. So read your comment. Now, see, that's you just like not being okay with where you're at, because you're needing something outside of you, Michelle, to fill that. You want to fill that on your own. You're going to have so much fun with your friend. You're going to have the best time ever. Don't go there already saying, I'm going to be lonely. Then you're selling yourself short of that present moment already, right? Coming up, you're going to have so much fun, and start preparing yourself for that moment, how much fun you're going to have with your friend. Thank you, Taz. Happy Monday to you too. Feel like I'm thinking differently now. And you know what, Linda? You'll keep on doing that, Linda. Like, you'll keep on shifting and seeing things differently. The more you do these practices, the more you're meditating, the more you're relaxing and staying calm, you start these concepts, and just how manifestation truly works in the best way possible start to get clearer to you. You understand that it's not really about these things. It's about me being happy. It's about me being happy and fulfilled and enjoying this life experience, right? And knowing I can have anything I want, and I'm moving towards that in the best way possible. You just start to really understand why you're really here, and how unlimited you truly are. And the biggest one to me is how much you are guided. How much you are guided. You're never going to be able to tap into that guidance until you start relaxing more, meditating more, and remaining calm and quiet in those moments. You'll connect to your inner guidance system, who has the best answer for you. No, nothing outside of you has the answer you're seeking. Nothing outside of you. Your guidance does, because we're all on our own paths. We all have our own story. We all have our own desires. Hi, Mr. Bruce. I'm good today. How are you? Hi, Becky. Hi, Claudia. Are you leaving, Claudia? Hi, Stephanie. Exactly, Stephanie. Right? Because it's funny because someone mentioned frequency today on our private Facebook group, and then I seen another video on it, and it made me really think about how you're not trying to become anything. You're not trying to become what you want. You already are what you want. You're already the things that you're manifesting. You're everything. You're everything, right? You are only releasing what doesn't serve you. You're not ever trying to manifest something. You're not ever trying to become something. That's why acting as if and all, you're never doing any of that. You're only releasing the things that don't serve you. Everything's here and now for you to experience. You are everything. You are everything. It's already done. Everything you want's done. You're just releasing the things that don't serve you anymore. And that's literally it. And you're just releasing them by chilling out a little, just relaxing a little. Your life will start to get better. Things will start to get exciting. Definitely, I always, in the back of my mind, always hears meditate. Make sure you guys are meditating. It's really important to meditate. That's your connection. That's what's like, there's so many benefits to meditation. And again, I recommend people, if you're new to any of this content, I always tell people to check out my playlists, right? I have so much information on there. And I also have easy, fun meditations because a lot of people say they struggle with meditation. Don't overthink. I think it's funny when I say don't overthink meditation because you're supposed to be thinking less, right? In general, we're supposed to be feeling more through life, not thinking our way through life, right? So you want to feel, your life's going to change when you start feeling your way through life more so than trying to control things with your thoughts. And meditation is going to help you do that. So I always direct people to my playlist called Easy Fun Meditations. It's just really helpful because basically what they are just sounds and you're just redirecting your focus again and again and again. Every time your mind wants to think, you're like, nah, we're going to focus on this sound. And you just and it gets easier. Guys, meditation at first, I always tell people when I first started meditating, my mind was talking the whole time. I got to do this. I got to do that. How should I do this? Was this working? Am I doing it right? And I mean, for 30 minutes, I would meditate. It would be me talking, but every day I showed up and I did it again and again and again. And guess what? Now I can sit in silence, complete silence. So if you're starting out meditating, Arlene, I always recommend setting a timer for like 20 minutes, right? So this way, when you're done, you can be like, all right, I did it. Because I think in the beginning, we do have a lot of mind chatter. It's very normal. And I think it's exhausting. And you're like, the 20 minutes is enough at first. But the more you start to do it, Arlene, you won't need to time yourself. It'll be just like, all right, I'm going to sit here for, I don't even know how long it is sometimes. Sometimes I sit there for an hour in silence. Sometimes I sit there for 15 minutes, right? But in the beginning, I usually tell people to set a timer. Give yourself like 20 minutes to 15, 20 minutes, depending on how your life is right now and how much time you have. 15, 20 minutes, set that timer, quiet your mind, listen to a sound noise or something, and then you're done, right? And then you just keep doing it every day. Linda, that's awesome. That's awesome. That you just get because we want to start your day on a positive note. You always want to start your day off good. So no matter what it takes to get you, if you're one that wakes up with resistance in the morning, like I wake up with a little bit of resistance, not as much as I used to, I will not go about my day until I start to feel better. So I will sit there and make sure that my energy raises. And that's what meditation does. It raises your energy. So just keep settling. Nope, I'm not grabbing my phone. I'm not doing anything. I'm going to sit here until I feel better. And then I get up and I move and I start my day. I start my morning and then I'm good. And then that's it. Hey, WW3. What do you do when something severely triggers you? How do you stay calm in traumatic moments? For me, Sally, when I had those things happen to me, like I always explain it as I fell to the ground, Sally. Like I always talk about like how my experience is that my whole world got flipped upside down. So I had many of those moments. And I just kept remaining calm because it was the only thing I could do. It's the only thing you can do is just practice this, Sally. In order to really transform your life, you have to use those moments that seem so heavy and so hardened and so dominant and horrible. You have to use those moments to keep practicing this and getting so calm and quiet and still, not speaking about them to anyone, and reminding yourself, it's all working out for me. It's all working out for me. It will start to fade. These things will start to fade, but we have to use these things in our lives that don't serve us anymore to help us practice non-reaction, to help us remain calm. Or else you can move to another situation, but if you're not doing these practices, you're still experiencing these things in your reality, right? You have to change your energy in order for things to truly change in your life. You can't just think things over and over into your life. You can't. You have to change your actual energy. You have to be more calm. You have to be less reactive. So use it to your advantage, Sally. No problem, Sally. I know it takes practice and I know it ain't always easy. Oh, Sally, popped in my head. Breath work as well. When you're in a predicament where you're like, oh my gosh, like you're just, like you don't know what to do, breath work. Do some breath work in those moments. And just keep doing it. Your life is going to change, guys. Don't rush anything. There only is this present moment anyway. So there's nothing to rush. Just keep relaxing into this present moment and doing the practices. Life gets easier. Things start to make more sense. You realize that you are exactly where you're supposed to be while doing these practices, right? You're exactly where you're supposed to be. Trust me. So this is going to remove all those fear-based beliefs. A1, 2, 3. This is going to doing these practices is going to move all those fear-based beliefs that you have. I promise you. You're going to start connecting more. The more you meditate, the more you relax, to stay calm, and things are going to start to go your way. A1, 2, 3, and that's how we release fear-based beliefs, and we move through fear-based beliefs. It's so funny. I will block people just like that. Like my moderators, like I know, like they'll mute people. I think they would probably block someone like that. If you're not going to be kind and you're going to just be in here just to be silly, you're out. You're out of here. What if I have someone always ranting to me about their problems? So sugar, you can soften that. If someone's coming to you and venting to you, you can soften that. You can say, oh, it always works out, right? It's only, just think, you have control of that situation. That's an easy thing to solve. The more you just lighten it and you just say, oh no, it always works. It'll work out. And you focus more on the positives of them venting to you. Either they are going to get it from you and they're like, yes, thank you. Or they're going to go to someone else that they want to vent, that they want to complain with. Hear me out. So if you stay more positive in that conversation, if someone's venting to you and you're just like, it'll be fine, it'll work out, it always works out, and you just say it like that, they're either going to find someone else to talk to vent to, or they're going to actually learn from what you're saying, right? Oh my gosh. Creative, Eve, I fell asleep all the time when I meditated in the beginning. I personally, Eve, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I know Abraham Hicks would say that's not a real meditation if you fall asleep, but I did all the time. I still felt good after it. I still felt refreshed, and I only benefited from it. So I don't think there's anything wrong with it, Eve. If you fall asleep, you wake up, meditate again. Do it again for like 5 more minutes, right? I don't really think you can make a mistake. If you're showing up for yourself, Eve, and you're meditating every day, I mean, to me, that's enough. I think, Raquel, you should still meditate. EFT tapping, I don't know much about, but I think it kind of connects to a little bit like of breath work where it just calms you down in that moment. I think even if you're doing the exercises I talk about, the practices of just moving slower, breathing slower, and breath work, and even EFT, they're all wonderful and they're great and they're going to help as well. But I think meditation is its own powerful thing to do. So I recommend meditating, yes, because I've noticed the difference in my life, Raquel, from meditating and not meditating. When I was like, oh, I don't think I need to meditate anymore. Like, I'm good. And I noticed a difference in those periods of my life when I wasn't meditating versus meditating. So I guess I dabbled with it here and there. And I always said, no, meditation has way too many benefits not to meditate. I think everybody should be meditating every day for like, at least give yourself 10 minutes before you start your day to where you're cutting everything off. Hey, Aaron. But again, I just tell you from my experience, from things that I've done and not done, right? And things that I've played around, which I'm like, oh God, I noticed a difference in my life when I didn't meditate. Definitely. Exactly, Deborah. Like when you have a challenging time or when you feel like it's a challenge, right? Or a situation or an unfavorable, something that's unfavorable, Deborah, it's a time for us to really practice, really put these practices into use. Because if you can stay so calm, guys, in a unfavorable moment, right? And you can keep it to yourself and you can stay so calm. I'm talking like just if you have to go somewhere and be by yourself just to get yourself so super calm and relax and do breath work. If you continue doing that practice in an unfavorable circumstances, I can guarantee you're going to watch it work in your favor powerfully. It's going to, in that moment, it's going to show you how powerful you truly are. And you're just going to keep moving forward because you're, like I said, to me, that's connecting to my higher self. And they're letting me know, we got you. This is going to work out in your favor. This is going to be so amazing. I had so many things most recently happen to me that were like, I'm like, I don't feel like doing this anymore. Like, I know this is part of my old reality. I'm growing out of it. But I made the best of it. And even though I had resistance around it and I kept relaxing, it went so amazingly well. It was such an amazing experience. And I understand why it's happening. There's other components in my life. Like, I have kids. I have other such things. So, we're co-creating with others. That's why you have to understand everything serves its purpose. But if you can relax, you'll start to see why. Conditions at work are teaching us something. Does those situations serve us something? So everything, Claudia, everything serves you. There is nothing here that doesn't serve you, right? So for me, when it came to work, yes, big time. You'll look back because I think about how this all started for me was at my job, was somebody that was people called negative, and I kept using these practices and remaining calm around her. And it wasn't always easy, remaining calm and having compassion for her. And how I explain it is that we stopped encountering each other until eventually she left. So it teaches you a lot. And I can look back and I gained a lot from my working experience and using these practices at my job. So Ruthie, you don't want to manifest money though. That is like one of the biggest no-nos. Don't ever manifest money. We all have, not everybody, but a lot of people do have a lot of limiting beliefs around money, Ruthie. So what I found so much easier was don't manifest it. Just make it more about doing things you love and the energy flow and enjoying your life and knowing how unlimited you are and how there's enough money for everybody. Start thinking more like that. Have yourself open to the ways that not only money can come to you, because there's so many ways money can come to you. It's not just by working a job. That's a very limited way for money to come in. It's a very small way, right? There's many ways abundance and money can come into your life. So open your mind up to the ways that money can come into your life. Know this, Ruthie, know this. You are exactly where you're supposed to be right now. And always remind yourself that you are always taken care of and provided for. You have everything you need right now. I have everything I need right now. I'm always provided for. I'm always taken care of. And from there on, you keep making it more about like how limited you are and energy flow and feeling good. Do I feel good doing that? You don't want to ever be stuck doing something where you have to do it for the money. That's just a prison. You don't want that. You want to make sure that even if it may happen in smaller ways, but it's you learning how to enjoy life and have fun. And then the money comes from that, right? But you want to make sure you're doing things that you love, that you're passionate about. I don't want to have to be doing these things to make money. That would take all the fun out of it for me. Like, I have to do this. I have to do these lives in order for me to make money, in order for me to make a living. Like, how's that fun? That takes the fun out of life. So you want to make it more about fun and doing things you love, and you love getting up every day, and you love doing what you do, and then money will flow. And again, remember, money can come into your life in all different kinds of ways. Thank you, Kevin. Bye, Richard. Have a great day. Thank you, Kevin. What do I do when my daughter wants explain to me what's going on at home? So, Linda, I just read your comment about your daughter. So you can soften it too with her. Soften it with your daughter. When she will change. She will shift her energy. I noticed that even with my kids. Our kids are learning too, guys. Like if you're a parent and your kid comes to you and they're I don't want to say negative or they're just in a mood or they're complaining to you, you need to either stay quiet in those moments and let them speak and just hold space for them, or you lighten the topic. And you have to, like, it's your approach, right? Like, oh, it always works out. You guys always get back and you always get along. And, we're all like, that's just life experiences. And you just soften it, Linda, like, and you soften it with your kids and you be light about it, because then they will start being light about it. When they start coming to you, they'll be light about it, or they won't come to you anymore. That's kind of how it works, right? So when you're talking to someone that you think is complaining or venting or this or that, you hold all the power in that conversation. You get to lighten it. You get to be soft about it. You get to be more friendly and positive about the conversation. Like I said, they will resonate with that and learn from what you're saying, or they will just not come to you. And that even goes with your daughter. She'll stop coming to you with that topic, anything like that. Or she'll actually be getting the information that you're saying, like, oh, it always works out. You guys are great together. You always get over it, right? Hey, Christine. I just seen you pop. I don't know if you've been on here. I was just yapping, Christine. I still feel so much anxiety when it comes to manifesting money. I meditate upon waking in the morning. Yes, me too, Deborah. Ashley, I just love these topics. This is, like, I would say, this is my purpose. If I had to say, if I have a purpose, this is it. Like, I just love these topics. Talking, because I've experienced this in my life, like through my own experience, and the changes from how you can never mess anything up, ever. You start getting better at this. You start getting more clear. You start realizing you can never make a mistake. Literally never make a mistake. I'm not even kidding. Knowing that this moment serves a purpose. Every single moment serves a purpose. What it really comes down to in my life that I've noticed is that connection with our higher selves, always guiding us, always making it the most smoothest ride for us as we come out of these old patterns that don't serve us anymore. And making this like an easy, fun journey, because it's about enjoying the journey, but you can't even get to that point until you relax more and you understand. That's why I always tell people, do not focus on these manifestations. They're done. You're moving towards them, but they will hold you in a prison, manifesting and trying to manifest in cycles. You'll just be like, you'll never be happy. You're moving towards them. Trust me, in the best way possible. You don't have to do anything to get a manifestation at all. It will just start coming into your life very natural. You really want to make it about this moment and making the best of these moments, doing these practices, relaxing more, releasing all these old, limiting, horrible beliefs that are just so limiting, that don't serve any of us in this world anymore, right? And you just want to keep moving forward with, like, focusing on you, feeling good on your own, putting you first, right? What can I do to feel good? And then you're of more service to the world when you do that. So the more I talk about it, like, to you guys, it's helping me because I get better at speaking about it, right? I get more clear. Your questions help me get more clear, right? So it's all, like Abraham says, we're all in this together, right? I know, Tim. And you know what it is, Tim? I think it's because even myself, and I know through practicing meditation that even I would want to get up. Even I would want to be like, oh, let me grab my phone or let me do something. And I would say, no, we're sitting here. We're going to stay here and we are going to close our eyes and we are going to get so quiet and still. We're going to stay here for another 10, 15 minutes now because you wanted to get up and grab your phone, right? And it's like me, and it's the best thing I ever did for myself. That's when I'm disciplined. I'm disciplined when I meditate. I'm like, no, we are meditating. We're going to sit here and we're going to stay here and we're not grabbing our phone at all. You're so much more free when you stop grabbing your phone all the time. And I know, like, I've done it too, but I've cut that out, and I feel so much more free. Hey, Kennedy. Ah, good, Linda. I really want to post. I keep saying every day, I'm like, I'm going to post this one on my YouTube. But the one I did the other day, or was it yesterday? God, it seems like it was the other day. Time goes by fast. That one I could post because it wasn't that long. If they're too long, it's just like I can't post them. But hey, Johnny. I am kind of, sort of, right? Johnny, you know I'm on my way to becoming a strawberry refresher. It's inevitable. It's inevitable. Kennedy, isn't that how it happens? I love that. I love that Kennedy said, I was so excited about all the resistance I released over the weekend that I couldn't sleep because you get so much energy. That's why I say you can't mess up. Even if you're having anxiety or you're worried, guys, or you're just under stress. If you can stay calm underneath that stress and keep it to yourself and quiet, you'll have that. I always call it the boomerang effect. The boom, bounces you back out and you have all this energy because guess what, it'll go in your favor. Whatever it is will go in your favor because you stayed calm the whole time, you went within, you meditated on it, you kept going within. It'll go in your favor and it'll be like magical, but then you get all this energy because it went in your favor and it turned out so well, better than you could have imagined. And that's how this works. That's how this works, guys. So you get so much energy. Do you, Claudia? I don't require a lot of sleep at all. I never did, but I do better in the morning. Sometimes I don't get up and it's never good. I always got to like get myself out of the resistance. If I lay too long, or if I go back to sleep, it's never good. It just isn't. So I'm more of a morning person, like get up out of bed and just go. Just start your day, girl. Get up. But sometimes I don't. And I'm like, why do I do that? I know it doesn't serve me. I know it doesn't, but I do it sometimes. And then I gotta like meditate a little bit more and relax a little bit more to get myself out of that resistance. I got it, Claudia. Don't you worry. Did you see my latest TikTok about getting my free drink? It's actually really funny. I always show my kids every day. I'm like, too much Red Bull? I don't even like Red Bull. Are you saying me too much Red Bull? I think it's funny when people jump on here and they're like, oh, she talks too much or too much this or too much caffeine. I'm like, do people not resonate with, like happy, positive people? What was I saying about I was going to say something about the refresher. I lost track again. I lost track of thought. When I pop in here right after meditating. Do you, Christine? From 0 to 60? Yeah, I was talking about how when I meditate on, especially when it's on something that's like unfavorable, I call it unfavorable because I don't feel like doing it, literally. And I don't want to do it, right? So I stay calm and I meditate. It always works out and I'm always like super happy. I'm like I'm surprised that it worked out. So, Nito, yeah, like you'll get your energy back. You'll get it. Just in those moments, just relax and say, I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. It's all good. I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. Sometimes it's like, all right, what can I do right now? Sometimes for me, when I have those moments when I feel like I don't know what to do, where I'm like kind of bored or I do feel depleted, like you're saying, you know what I do? I meditate. I'm not kidding. When I'm sitting there and I have nothing to do and I'm kind of like at a weird place where I'm like, I don't know what I feel right now, I meditate. It always works when I do that. Always benefit from that. That's why I wrote that in our private Facebook group. I said, when in doubt, meditate. Always. And I'm on level 80. Christine, that's because I know. I've had like so many things happen to me where I've been going with it. It's like bam, 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 where I've been going within and meditating on it and just remaining calm and still. And it's been working in my favor in ways that I can't even explain. And I think that's where I'm getting this energy from because I'm like on a different planet. I feel like I'm on a different planet. Christine, go meditate a little bit longer to get to the 80. Johnny, you think I would be by now? I thought I was the refresher girl. Like, Dunkin' Donuts hasn't called me yet. So when in doubt, meditate. I wish that rhymed. I'm dying. Christine's like, oh my God, this girl. That's like, yeah, I used to feel like that because I did always have like a pretty high energy, but I used to feel like, oh my God, let me tone it down because I know like I'm probably I always felt like I was too much for people because I'm like always like, even my own darn kids sometimes. Like I show my kids like sometimes, not my oldest son. He's like me. He's like super like positive, and not that my other two aren't. They're just more calm, right? And I'm always like, look at this TikTok I did, like, and I go like I'll go and like my daughter's around like, look at this, isn't this so funny? And they get me now though. Ah, it's because I know it works too, Christine. I wouldn't be saying this if I didn't want other people to experience this, but I also want people to know that it does take practice to get to that point too. Like you are exactly where you're supposed to be, because I kept waiting to enjoy the journey, guys. Like I would hear enjoy the journey and I'm like, this in journey, where's the enjoyment in the journey? Like I was waiting for that I'm not kidding. Like I was like, but you have to do these practices for a little bit, right? To understand how it's a lot easier than we realize, first of all. I also had to stop trying to manifest so hard because I went down that loop too. That's why I'm so passionate about that topic. Stop manifesting. Stop. Because everything you want is done. You just have to like, okay, that's what I want to experience. I'm moving towards it now, and that's it. And you can look at it from time to time. That's perfectly fine. You can get excited about it, but never do nothing to do it because it's going to unfold so naturally and in the right timing for you to experience it, and also in a time for you not to lose it. Like you want to keep it and just it be there forever. Like that's why I stopped manifesting, because that keeps you stuck in a never ending hamster wheel. You lose these things so easily because you're still being triggered, right? How do I do it, Johnny? I gotta like write them or something. I gotta write like Dunkin' Donuts and say, listen, I have probably 50 videos right now of me getting a refresher. Yeah, and I believe that too, Nito. I think even when you're feeling impatient, like what Kennedy's saying, it's a in those moments you practice relaxing. Whenever I feel impatient or I feel like I want something, I stop and I say, what can I do now to feel good? What if right now in this moment can I do that will fill that for me right now? Like what can I do? Sometimes it is just meditate, sometimes it's take a drive, sometimes it's clean my house, like little things. But like I can do something now to feel good. I don't need this thing to make me feel better, right? I can do something now to feel better. So whenever I used to feel that impatience, I would just like calm myself down and say, what can I do now? I can do something now. Let me go clean my car or something, like anything. Yeah. So Nito, I know. We all know, right? We know these things. Like we just need reminders. Like I need reminders too, especially in the beginning. Abraham was my reminder. Like listening to so many different people is confusing and overwhelming. That's what I always say. Like I only listened to Abraham. I didn't want to keep even I like Bashar, some of the things he says, but I didn't listen to Bashar as much as I did Abraham, because Abraham I resonated with so much. And I thought to me personally, I thought she was the most updated in these teachings. So for me, it was just easy just to keep listening to her. Now I had a journey to get to her because I would listen to other people as well, but I realized this isn't serving me. I'm listening to a million different people. It's so overwhelming. It's so confusing. Your energy's everywhere. Keep your life as quiet and simple as possible. The things you want will get to you quicker when you can quiet your world. Dink, it's Abraham Hicks. Yeah, look her up on YouTube. She talks about like manifesting, how you're unlimited. You can be, do, and have anything you want. Dink. It's Abraham Hicks, but actually just look up Abraham Hicks. I always say her name's Esther, but I don't even want to get into that. I ain't going to get into that. If you don't know who Abraham is. And yes, you are on the right path. You're exactly where you need to be, Nito. And something else I learned, like people would say, like, what if I don't know what I want? Or what if I'm not manifesting the right thing? You can change your mind. You're unlimited. You are everything that you're asking for. Do you know how many times I manifested something and I'm like, oh my God, why did I think I even wanted that? No big deal. I don't, people don't get how unlimited you truly are, right? It's an experience. You're learning from every experience anyway, right? And you are everything. You don't have to reprogram, Raquel. You have to deprogram, girl, because you are everything. Raquel, you are everything. You're connected to everything, right? That's what people don't understand. You are the frequency of everything you want already, Raquel. You're only releasing what doesn't serve you. That's all you're doing. And you only do that by being okay with where you're at. The more you can just be settled in this present moment, you're releasing it. Like, it's so much easier, Raquel, than I'm telling you, even than I explain. I can tell you, it's probably even easier than I explain. That's how easy it is. Because we came here not knowing, Claudia, for a reason. Like, we actually came here to get reconnected. It's almost like you come in. Well, here's the thing. You're born connected. You're born from pure positive love, but our programming detaches us from who we truly are. So like your environment, you grow up, people tell you, you got to be this, you got to be, oh, you didn't do well in school. You're not smart. And then we get programmed. We get programmed. So then we get disconnected from who we truly are. But that is part of the experience as well, right? So it's like, it all kind of like, we're coming into a time where in our lifetime where we are all, this is all available to us now, where it wasn't always available, but we're coming out of these lower energies now. I listen to Joe a lot. I think Joe talks more about, in a meditation becoming it. So I don't resonate with that too much anymore, but I love a lot of what Joe says. And I listened to Joe for a very long time. And I think he has a lot of great things that he says, but I actually steered away from even Joe, right? Because, you really learn from your own experience what's best. Truthfully, even Abraham. I love Abraham. I love it. And I still listen to Abraham, but you not until you start doing these practices and going within and meditating, will you find what works best for you. Truthfully. Yes, right, Kennedy? And I don't know if you guys, Kennedy said, I like what you said. You learn how to manifest, then unlearn because it's so natural to us. And I don't know about any of you guys, but I can go back to before I knew this and say, oh my gosh, I can totally see how I manifested so many things through my thoughts and that powerful intention. And I can see how those things came into my life. So I don't know if you ever can look back and say like, wow, it makes total sense, right? How I did manifest all that stuff. Now we were limited and we were doing it. A lot of it was unconscious creation, but you can go back and say, I totally get how that happened. Yeah, Maria, thank you for saying that, Maria. And hi, Maria. Maria's right. I don't like the science part of it. You don't need to know it. He's very sciencey talk, the way he talks. And I said, again, I love him. And I think that he has his purpose, right? Everybody has their purpose. But, and he's helped and healed so many people. Like he's changed lives all over the world. I have nothing but positive things to say about him, but I don't resonate with all that talk. That's not me. I steered away from all that because I'm more into the simplicity of this. So I try to stick to that. I try to stick to like the simplicity of how easy this is and make it more practical for people because it is actually knowing that everything is here now. You are everything and you're moving towards it in that moment. And if you can just do the little practices of, they're not always little because the things feel big and heavy, but they're actually not when you keep relaxing and softening your body and resting into that discomfort. And then you're skyrocketed to more, to learning more, to knowledge, to wisdom, to understanding this more. So Bethany, the same answer. I tell people like in the beginning, I know like it's a lower energy in that moment, but it's actually not. You're always going to feel some sort of anxiety, and because you're always going to feel some sort of resistance in your life. So, like, it's the labels that we've given things over time, like anxiety, depression, and it's like they're all over the news, and you watch things, you might get depressed, and if you're depressed, and we've made these things so, but it's okay to have moments like that. You just keep it to yourself in those moments, Bethany. You stay calm in those moments. Just know it's completely normal. You're human, and just relax in those moments. Like I said, main thing is keep it to yourself. Stay quiet in those times. Meditate. Do some breath work. And the more you do it and the more you relax in those moments, you'll realize I'm fine. And everything just starts to work out. You start to feel better. Bethany, your life starts to change. Just remember, a lot of these things people have blown up in our world. Depression, anxiety, ADHD, DDDG, and they're like all over the news and broadcast it. So we think it's like something to be concerned about, but it's not. You're just a human being. And when something doesn't feel so good, it just means that it doesn't serve you anymore. And you just relax into that and it'll work out in your favor and it'll keep moving you towards more. I'm sorry. I want to answer your question. I wish I could pause these. Let me answer because I'm afraid I'm going to forget my track of thought. How do you deal with ex-friends who are neighbors that you just can't stand? Really not. So you have to stay positive, Shelly. I know it's hard, but you have to see the best in order for them to either leave your experience, right? Or them to start matching your experience. But when we're so aware of people being like not like negative or they're just this or this or that, we match it and we keep them in our lives. So the more you can just like either ignore them as much as possible or be kind around them and be pleasant around them, either they continue to stay in your experience but in a positive way, or they kind of are removed from your experience. That's what happened to me with neighbors. Like I never realized that it was happening, but when we moved in our house, we had two people next to us that the houses were like renting houses. They were like in and out people. And it was just like some of them that came in were whatever, but I never let it bother me. And I realized this is what happened. I was just like, oh, I was always nice to them. I would talk to them all the time. It never bothered me. Well, guess what? Those two houses next to me got redone completely. And amazing people, neighbors. Not saying the other people weren't amazing, but they were just in and out renters and stuff like that. So you have to not either find a way to see it in a positive way, be kind to them, be nice to them, or try to like stay away as much as possible. You have to get it out of your awareness or change it in your awareness, right? So what I was going to say is I was talking about how this moment, if something doesn't feel good, it doesn't serve you anymore. It doesn't, but it does still. Right? When something doesn't feel good, it doesn't serve us anymore, but it actually does serve us too. So that's why you need to relax and remain calm and let it play itself out in the best way possible for you. So that's why I try to say, like when I say it doesn't serve us anymore, it doesn't, but it does because it's there to show you something or to move you in the right direction in the best way possible. We don't have to know why. There's a bigger picture. And I only can say this because I've watched it in my life over and over again. By just sitting back and kind of letting it play out, even though I didn't love what was happening. I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. Why is this happening? I could see the purpose it served. I could see it the more that I did these practices. So yes, I'm growing out of it. I'm moving towards more, but at the same time, it's still serving me in some way, shape, or form. And if I just sit back and relax, I can let it play out the way it's supposed to. It always will work in your favor too. Always, always, always. So always just sit back, relax. Let these unfavorable stories play out to the best way to have them work in your favor to keep you moving towards more what's actually meant for you. Yeah, Shelly. I have a lot of stories. I like that I do have a lot of stories to share with people. Like if they say they went through something, I'm like, I have a story for that. I have a story for that. And that was actually before I knew about manifesting, but I can see how that happened. It's because I never let it bother me. I was always kind to them. I always said hi to them. I don't know. I always had that way about me, but like I was friendly with them, right? I would even drive the girls they had next door to me. They would have to take their wash to the washer place and I would drive them if I seen them, I would drive them or drive them back, like if I was along the road. So like I just became friendly with everybody. They actually gave me the one neighbors next door. They gave me my little my first little dog, my Yorkie Poo. They gave me her dog. So like I have a lot of like I was just friendly with them. And guess what? They didn't last long. No, no fault to anyone. It's just how it worked out. So always stay in your positive energy. Just be kind. I know when you say ex-friends, you have more of a history with people. When you have, like you say, ex-friends, it's like, it's a more of a dominant story. But if you can really just be more positive around them and stay away as much as possible, it will work in your favor. It's mainly about not matching that story. You have to try to like be more positive in that story. They gave me a small straw, so now I'm like searching for my straw. I still get allowed to talk to my head, but not so much anymore as long as I relax. Exactly. Oh, Linda, yeah, you're gonna get mind chatter. Like you're gonna get it, but you're gonna catch it quicker. When you make it about how you feel and you continue to meditate, which you get meditating helps you make it about how you feel because you're getting out of your head. You catch moments when you find yourself going down that rabbit trail where you're like talking or you're worrying about something that you shouldn't be worrying about and you catch it. You're like, oh, there you go again. Chill out. It's all good. You don't have to worry about none of that. Everything's working out for you, because even I do it. I still do it sometimes, but I catch it so quick, like so quick. But yeah, Shelly, like you can distance yourself, but try not to, like, here's the thing. I always explain, be aware, Shelly, because even though if you're not near them and you're still complaining about them, you're still keeping them in your reality. So you really have to like, try not to think, even let it bother you. So that's where relaxing, calmness is going to help you remaining calm. That's what I did with someone at work. I just kept staying calm around her. Like, even if she was like, rah, 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 like, she just, honestly, I did have compassion for her because I know she just didn't want to be there anymore. But even in her moments where she was just like having a fit or something, I would just get so calm and I just say, you know what, she just doesn't want to be here anymore. Or I would walk away from the situation or, like I just would stay so still and silent. And like I said, she eventually left. So, and I had nothing against her. I just knew she didn't want to be there, right? So it's all about your energy in that moment and making sure you're not letting it bother you, right? Because in the beginning, I was going home and complaining about this lady at work. Well, guess what I was doing? I was taking her everywhere with me. She wasn't going anywhere. She was complaining more. I was so focused on her. I couldn't get her out of my head, right? Because I was complaining about her. Oh my God, this lady at work, right? Until I started, I was in the process of learning this. So I was like, wait a minute, I'm keeping her in my life. Like, what the heck? So I started doing these practices and remaining calm around her. This is where I really started really practicing this stuff. And, it all worked out. Hi, 5D. The straw. Yeah, so you're getting out of these lower energies, Claudia. Exactly. That's what it means to like raise your vibration. Yeah, you're raising your vibration and either the things that are still in your life, Claudia, come to match you or they fade out of your life. But I try not to worry about the components in it because then you're trying to control too much outside of you. So I don't worry about how it's going to resolve itself, Claudia. I just do my part. I just do my part in staying calm, seeing the best in things, calm and kindness, and just move. I make it about me feeling good no matter what. That's very important. Feeling good no matter what's happening around me. I can still be in a positive energy if somebody isn't, right? And I just continue doing these practices over and over again. I make it just about me. It's only my energy. It's only my thoughts. It's only my world. And I remind myself that because when you change your energy, everything changes around you. We're never controlling anything outside of us, ever. You're only changing your own energy, right? And everything will either come to match it or fade out of your life. And like I said, I don't know what's best for me. I really don't. My small mind doesn't know. So I let my higher self do all the work behind the scenes, work it all out. Whatever's going to stay in my life is going to stay. Whatever's going to leave is going to leave. I'm just feeling the best I can in each moment. and becoming the best version of me. And that's what's most important, because everything else will fall into place. So this is a great practice for you then, Shelly, to keep practicing feeling good no matter what's happening around you. This will be such a great practice because you're going to watch this in your reality. Either, again, either they're going to match or fade, and you're going to watch it in front of you. So it's actually cool to see how powerful you are. Yeah, so just keep yourself. I just read your other comment. So you just keep even those stories to yourself, Shelly, right? Because then you're keeping it so loud. We don't even realize until we start practicing like meditation and remaining calm and relaxing in each moment. We don't even realize how much we let things get to us, and we're letting things bother us all the time. Until you do these practices, you're like, wow, like I'm like taking these stories with me everywhere I go and wondering why they're still in my reality, right? Because it's all your awareness. It's really all you're keeping it in your awareness. You're keeping it in your life. Thank you, John. You can stay. Oh, me too, Linda. We were raised to complain about stuff, right? That's just like we all picked up those things because none of us knew any of this information. Nobody knew this stuff. I mean, we may have known it. Like I always said, like on a deep level, I never resonated with gossip and drama. Like it's why I really never had a lot of friends, right? And I never liked it when people were talking about people, but it doesn't mean that I didn't at times join in or have my opinion about something. You know, like we all did those things, right? None of us knew we were recreating situations in our lives over and over again. That's why, like, it's so important to know that until you really change your energy and practice non-reaction, you take yourself with you to these new scenarios. But guess what? You're repeating the same darn stories because you haven't actually changed your energy. Manifesting's the easy part because you are everything. So you get to experience whatever you want. You're moving towards that in this moment in the best way possible for you. I've noticed in my experience watching things just unfold very natural, the more I don't manifest it, because even now you're keeping yourself limited on what you can actually is best for you to manifest. You can have an idea, oh, this would be nice or that would be nice, or we all have certain things we want to experience while we're here. But if you get too specific, I think you limit yourself, right? Hey, BB. Yes, Evan's energy. This little straw is killing me. It's like so tiny. And I usually I catch that, but I didn't catch it. Usually I have a stash of straws. My biggest thing is having the great relationship with my two children. And yes. And you will. Yes, you do. You will, Linda. And that to me, Linda, honestly, I can totally relate to that because that was always like, I always said, if I have to manifest, if there's one thing I'm going to have a strong desire about, it's my kids. My kids understanding this, my kids, living an amazing life as well. Like that was so important to me. Them being happy, right? I just wanted my kids to be happy. I want my kids to be happy. So I totally get that. I know, Linda. Oh, Claudia, I love that. You're gonna make me cry. Linda, I know when your kids are little, like it's like they just go with the flow and they listen. Not that they don't listen now. I don't like to say anything bad about my kids. They're just so easy going, like all three of them. But when they get older, it's just like, they're getting older now and you're like, oh my God, they're entering the world and I want them to be good and I want them to be happy and I want them to do things they love. I don't want them to be trapped in something like a job where I was trapped or think that like, I want them to have all the experiences that they want to have as well. Don't think they're limited or any of that. Oh, I'll tell you my thoughts on states. I'm glad you asked, Raquel. So I don't know much about Neville, but I know Neville talks about states. This is how I explain states. There's only two states. There's only two. It's the state of feeling good and the state of not feeling good. And that's it. That's how I explain states to people. All the stuff of that, I think it's too much. And I think it's too much. It's just basically too much. You don't have to like get into states or this or that. It's just, if you're in the state of feeling good, you're literally moving towards everything you want. And if you're just not feeling good, you just relax and get calm, and then you're back to everything that you want. So that's it. That's how I explain states. I try to always think simple. If you like the idea of simple and you like the idea of lazy manifesting, because this is supposed to be easy, keep it simple as possible. But, you like what you like. Some people like to get into all that. I just think, when you're listening to too many different teachers and people talking about this, you're just clouding your mind, and it's making your mind not clear. You want to be clear-minded. So don't listen to too much stuff. Trust me, you don't need it all. You don't need to listen to all the people talk about manifesting. There's so many different opinions. There's so many different ways to explain this. And all you're doing is clouding your mind. If you can listen to less things, keep your world quiet, keep your mind quiet, you're going to be so clear-minded. And you're going to understand this so much quicker. And I don't even like to say this, but you're going to get to where you want to be so much quicker. So much quicker. And I think most people that follow me, which is not a huge group, I think most people are more in the less is best, quieter, simpler, and not like wanting so much in their lives, because that's what I feel like most people that talk to me connect that way. We connect that way in just our conversations alone, I've noticed. Because you connect with who you connect with, right? So you can't force this on anyone. It's either you like it this way or you move on to someone else, right? Oh, thanks, Sally. I'm the best for you guys right now, right? No. And that was so important to me, Sally. That was so important. Like, I don't ever want to make it about that. And because I never liked that stuff anyway. Like, if people were trying to like push something on me, I never resonated with that, always cringed me. So for me, it was like, that was very important to keep it authentic. And you know what? How can someone talk about being unlimited, but yet I'm trying to get you to buy something, or trying to get you to, I need your money, I need your business, I need my followers. How can you say we're unlimited and talk about manifesting if I'm doing that? That sounds so limiting to me. So I never resonated with that. But everyone's doing their thing and everyone's doing the best. So no judgment to anyone, but I try to stay in my own lane. Hey, Mike. Hey, Bobby. I definitely try not to go on. That's why I don't really go on TikTok or anything. Like, I stay on my feed where I have my things that I like and the people that I watch. But I do not go scrolling, because you're going to see something you don't want to see. And it's going to trigger me. And I'm going to be like, why are they teaching like this? Or why are they doing like, and I don't want to do that. Everyone's doing their own thing, and they're getting the people that resonate with them. And I'm sure they're helping them in their own way. And that's all that matters, right? Yes, Sally. Yes. I just want, I've always wanted to help people in some way. I've always been an uplifting person. Honestly, I have. I've always wanted people to see the best in them. Like, nobody can see the best, like, only you can see the best in you. That's what I've learned. Like, you can tell someone you're amazing, you're awesome, you're the best, but they have to start believing in themselves. And you can't even do that until you start doing these practices, right? Until you start going within, until you start, like, it's not about these affirmations. They're words. You have to internally believe that, right? You have to go within and you have to start doing things like feeling good on your own, putting yourself first, loving yourself, not putting other people's feelings before yours. It's an energy job. It's not an affirmation word job. That they're just, like I said, they're just words. That would probably be fun, Sally. I always say, like, I've never been to an Abraham one. I'm sure they're great. I've seen people, like, you're not supposed to post videos, but I've seen people post videos and they're so positive. They're so positive. And Joe's are real positive too. Yeah, Stephanie. It's like if you follow me, you follow me. If you don't, it doesn't hurt my feelings. I always say that. Like I don't watch people follow and unfollow. I have no idea if people follow me and unfollow me. I don't care. It doesn't. I do this because I love it. I can't wait to make my TikTok. I can't wait to make my refresher TikTok. I can't wait to do my lives with you guys. Like I am excited to talk about this stuff. That's why I do it. I like connecting. I've gained so many friends. Like to me, these are my friends. My Facebook group, it's not humongous, but I'm not trying to make it humongous. It is what it is. If it grows, that's great. But you are my friends, right? Yeah, Kenny, but it doesn't make sense. I mean, I'm not going to say this is why I did coaching for a little bit because people were asking me and I did it for a little bit. And guess what? It doesn't serve anyone. I realized real quick I didn't resonate with it. And I know why. Because it doesn't help anyone. It's basically just them venting. And then we didn't get anywhere. One call, that doesn't do nothing. You just need reminders. You need to just keep doing these practices and you need reminders. That's it. It's all you need. It's all going to come down to you being able to trust your own inner guidance. So if anyone's teaching anything, it should be to connect to your own inner guidance because we all have our own inner guidance. But yes, Bobby, I do, but not by forcing it. Not by forcing it because you cannot. People will find you when they're ready, Bobby. That's what I've or BB, was it BB or Bobby? People will find you when they're ready. You can never force this on anyone. If I'm reaching out, it's more of like I think I've only because I've done this before with other things. You can never force things on people. Is it okay if you look back? Like, hopefully that makes sense. I'm sorry, I didn't. Is it okay if you look back at old videos and me, my ex, while manifesting them? Makes me happy. So yeah, as long as something's making you feel good, you just don't want to be stuck in the feeling the lack and the sadness. So just sometimes we think we're aware of how we feel, but we're like really feeling that kind of sadness or that tightness in our, so just make sure you really are feeling good, right? I always just say, try not to get too caught up in those feelings because then you just keep yourself stuck in a cycle, right? Really, main thing would be to focus on yourself as much, focus on you as much, feel good on your own as much. I'm not saying that's wrong or right, but sometimes it does get us back caught up in I'm just so sad or, like it still keeps us in that energy. That's all. Just be aware of how you feel. But yeah, so BB, yeah, so I've noticed that people will that's my higher self's job. I'm just doing my part in speaking my truth as much as possible. People will find me when they're ready, but I've learned you cannot force this information on anyone because they won't hear it. They won't hear it. People that aren't ready to hear this will not hear it. It'll go right over their heads and they'll fight against you. Oh, that's not right. Oh no, that's not true. As long as you're not in a long. Yeah, exactly, Christine. Yeah, then you're fine. There's no wrong or right, remember? Like, you do what feels best for you. Can't really mess anything up. How do we know we're attracting something versus pushing it away? Well, it's not really about attracting. It's not really about attracting anything. Just think about it as it's already here. You are what you want. We are everything, Diab, right? And it's already here and now. You're only becoming more aware of it. But if you're pushing it away, it's not that. It's because you're chasing something. So you're never doing anything to get anything. You just remind yourself it's done. And the more you focus on this moment, Diab, and you make the best of this moment, it's a feeling. It's a feeling of I'm happy where I'm at. I'm good where I'm at. I'm making the best of this moment. I'm doing these practices. I'm meditating. I'm relaxing. I'm enjoying this moment. And that's how you know, because Diab, you will start becoming more aware of it. You will, very naturally. Very naturally. I am from Philly. Feel you have it. So it's not about feeling you have it already. From my experience, it hasn't been that. It's been just a very natural process of it unfolding for me. So it almost feels like it's always been my life. When I look back to see where I am now, it wasn't like I never felt anything as if I already had it, guys. I never did. It just started happening. And it was very natural when I did it this way. Yeah, sure. Italian mama. So for me, depending on where you're at with meditation, if you're a beginner, I always tell people to set a timer. To set a timer gives you, because in the beginning, your mind's going to chatter a lot. And you're not going to feel like you're doing anything at all. But that's part of the process. And the best thing to do with meditating is like find a noise that you like, a sound noise, air conditioned, some kind of sound. I have easy, fun meditations on here, you guys know. And keep showing up for yourself. So set your timer every day for 15, 20 minutes, whatever you can do according to your life, right? 15, 20 minutes, set that timer and just get through it. Sometimes you are just getting through it, but what you're doing in the meditation is you're redirecting your focus over and over again to that sound, because your mind's going to want to chat. Your mind's going to want to worry. Your mind's going to want to think about all the million things you have, but you're going to say, no, right to the sound. Nope. Right to the sound. Nope. And it is kind of exhausting at first because you are constantly redirecting your energy to the noise, but it gets easier and it gets better. And you start realizing, wow, I just was quiet I think I was quiet for a few minutes. And you keep showing up for yourself every day to the point where not only do you not need the sound anymore, you don't need the timer. So I don't use a timer or the sound. I just sit in silence for as long as I feel like it, right? As long as it feels, and it's even now, if I feel the impulse of like, oh, let me get up, I'm done. I say, no, we're going to stay a little longer. And I stay a little longer. So like, I'm a little more like disciplined in that fact. I won't jolt. I stay. We're staying. We're going to relax. We're going to meditate. We're going to quiet. No, we're going to stay a little longer. So it gets easier. It gets easier. Hi, Dave. Is that helpful for you, Italian? And you got to understand too, BB, like our minds work that way as well. Like if we're looking for something, we're kind of guided to what we need. And it's also letting your inner guidance system lead you to what you need, right? So for me, reaching out just never feels, I don't resonate with that. Like trying to make people understand this or preach, or like, not that I'm not preaching, maybe to you guys because you are interested, but I would never be like, all right, here you go, people. Like, it'll maybe one day come to that. Who knows? But I just trust my intuition. I fully trust this process. Where I'm at is where I'm at. I know I'm supposed to be here. Wherever it's taking me, it's taking me. I just keep trusting because it's steered me right so far. So I just keep trusting the path. I don't get into any of that, Raquel. I don't get into the law of assumption. Law of assumption. I think all those teachings are basically, you could listen to Abraham. She teaches it all, but much easier. The law of assumption gets into all these makes it more complicated, I think. And it's not even the law of attraction. Everything's here and now. You are everything. What you want is done. You get to have whatever you want. And as soon as you want it, it's done. You're moving towards it. And that's it. You just make the best of this moment. Like, it's so much easier. So I guess I don't have enough information to say the law of assumption, this or that, because I never really got in on that. So I don't know if I can have a true opinion about it, But I don't think, and a lot of that is really necessary, right? Because the way I explain it is, I feel like it's easy enough. Would law of assumption be adding to what I say? It's like, oh, that's all. Now, I don't think I resonate with that at all, Raquel. Because then it's like, it's only you. You have to make it simpler. You can't try to control anything outside of you. Or a lot of those teachings, I hear them, I used to hear, I don't listen to it anymore, about like, you're trying to change someone or change a story, or you're manifesting it. It's too much, you're doing way too much work. I think it's making it so much harder. And that's true too, Marta. That is true too. It's, people can't believe it's this easy that, that it's done. And you just have to make the best of this moment and you'll be moving towards it, right? And I think that's what it is. Like, because there is so many different explanations out there, but you have to remember, we were programmed to think that things are more difficult and we should be struggling a little more. And we don't, like, we're not tapped into our inner guidance. And the more you tap into your inner guidance, you start seeing they have your back. They're helping you work through these things in the best way possible. It's going to go so good for you. But you can't tap into that guidance until you start becoming more positive. I'm sorry. You have to be more light about life, more kind about life. Like that's it. More kind, more light, more kind, more light. That's it. You'll connect more and quiet. Get quiet from time to time because that's what helps you connect. Calm, quiet, and kind. Calm, quiet, and kind. That's what's going to help you connect to your inner guidance more. And you're going to be able to watch things play out that are happening now that, again, they might not serve you anymore, but they do serve you too. But they're going to actually work in your favor in the best way possible. Like, you're going to have amazing experiences with those unfavorable circumstances. Like, right? Like, I'm not kidding. With these unfavorable circumstances, you're going to have amazing experiences when you tap into your inner guidance and let them do their magic that they do. But even me, it took me practice to get to that point. Even though I always say like, oh, I was positive and I uplifted people, I still had to get in touch with that inner guidance. I couldn't hear it all the time. I was still complaining. I was still wanting to be somewhere where I wasn't. I was still trying to jump and get somewhere else. Like, I was still doing all those things and practices. I was still limited. So I had to relearn how to like get connected. I feel like what BB's saying about our small group. I think no matter what, even as people, I think a lot of times we hold the same people in our group. We have for such a long time, but yet people do come and go. But I think we have like a pretty good foundation. And not for nothing, but everyone that has been following me since the beginning, you guys have come so far. Some have come and gone. But for the most part, you guys help so many people as well. Like, you just jump in and uplift and say the right thing at the right time. So I don't, like, yous are playing your part in this as well. So you've helped so many people. But I think we've had a foundation kind of where we like Sherry, Christine, BB, but like so many of us. Yes, I do, Raquel. I do. I've never been mad at myself when I cry. I think if it's helped me, it's done nothing but helped me. Just when you're crying, just be kind to yourself in those moments and just know you're going to feel better and know that it's still moving you towards what you want. So it's a knowing of when you're crying, right? It's knowing like that, not my life is over, why is this happening to me, which I've had those moments too. But just remind yourself in those moments, calm, kind, I know I'm still moving towards what I want. Even though I'm crying right now, I know I'm upset because you're going to feel better. It's going to help you. Christine, is it block? Yeah, I blocked someone today. I was like, oh, I got a hold of them before Christine did. Oh, yes, Linda, like the blame. Because there's nobody to blame. There's nobody to blame because, first of all, everybody's creating unconsciously at first. There's not one person that doesn't start understanding this to think, and I think everything still serves its purpose. What question did I get? Oh yeah, so that's a good question. Definitely crying has only benefited me, Raquel, if I used it in the right way, right? So I always get quiet and I'm kind to myself in those moments. And I get very like, I always say I soften like my words and I say, I know, like everything's happening, everything's happening for a reason. Everything's falling into place perfectly. Even this moment's serving me. So just be kind to yourself in those moments. Keep it to yourself. That's really important, right? I think that's very, very important is to keep these moments to yourself. Keep all these things to yourself because you're transmuting that energy within you, right? And you're trusting in your higher self that they have your back and they're going to help this work in your favor. But when we're like, oh my God, why is this not working? And you go and start complaining to people, it just keeps you stuck, basically. But there's no mistakes, Linda. That's even the thing. There really is no mistakes. You can't make mistakes while you're here. This is all just an experience. It's a bunch of choices. You have free will to do whatever you want. But now that you didn't know this information either, Linda. You didn't know this. Nobody really knew this, right? And now you're opened up to it and you're like, ooh, you know what? Be proud of yourself because not everybody takes on this. They don't want to hear it. They don't want to have to change. They want to stay where they're at. And I'm not saying there's any judgment there either, but because this isn't always super easy to go within and tap into those parts of you that maybe you didn't always feel so great about. This isn't always an easy journey, guys, but it gets amazing. It leads you to your freedom. It does. But there's a process in this that doesn't feel so great, right? And we're learning how to, deprogram to connect to that guidance within and seek that love within, that guidance that has our back in all moments. Hi, Vanity. How long was I on here? Oh, God, no. I almost clicked N. So, of course, I was. See, my daughter called me, but I'm going to wait a couple minutes. She's all right for a little bit. Any last questions, guys? Because I'm going to hop off in a little bit. I'll try to jump on tonight. I should actually be able to jump on tonight. I think, actually, did I do one before? I probably never saved it because people have asked me to do makeup tutorials, hair tutorials, and I have done them, but I'll do it again because they're fun. I usually add manifestation talk in it, Ashley, just because. Why not? My makeup tutorial, you're going to laugh. It's funny because I don't use anything fancy at all. I use nothing fancy. It's all e.l.f. makeup, Wet n Wild. But it's just stuff that I love. I use the same stuff because I love it. It just always works. Oh, bye, BB. Have a good rest of the day. Nothing. Absolutely, Diab. Absolutely not possible. We mess it up. We mess it up by not trusting in our higher selves and knowing that it's going to come in the perfect way for us. It's more about just knowing that it's already yours. Everything's yours. Everything belongs, we're all connected. There's no separation, right? And Diab, it's more so about just making the best of this moment. Keep making it about this moment. What can I do now to feel good? Putting yourself first in each moment, coming from a good place, putting yourself first, obviously from a good place. You're not I'm putting me first and being angry. Doing these practices, meditate. I feel like that's the biggest one. Meditate and I don't even say breath work as much. Breath work saved my life in many moments, but meditation is something you're going to do consistently every day. Breath work you might not do every day, right? In the beginning I did a lot, but I don't really do it as much anymore. Meditate and doing things in each moment to put yourself first. What can I do for me today? Do more for you. Little things. It can start out small, but it's going to grow and it's going to be more, it's going to line you up with things that you truly do love to do that are meant for you. Is that Maura? I can't tell because the picture looks different. Is that you, Maura? I would never sit and think about that, Diab. That's so limiting. What kind of limitations? I would never sit and say, oh, what kind of limitations do I have? That would take you backwards. I wouldn't recommend anyone to do that, to say, Oh, let me look and see what kind. I'm unlimited. That's my answer. I'm unlimited. My answer to that question is I'm unlimited. I would never sit and try to figure out where's my limitations? Where are they coming from? That will never serve anyone. That's going backwards. Mara. Is it Mara? Don't tell me it's Mara, because I think I always said Mara. Am I one of those people? Oh, it's Mara. Oh, you haven't? And you know what, Mara? I haven't posted them on my YouTube, but I'm gonna try to post this one. I know I keep saying that, but this one I definitely am. I definitely am. I'm talking to myself, like, Kira, you're gonna post this on YouTube. So when they talk about revising, oh no, you don't have to revise, Diab. Don't ever waste your time doing that. You're never. What are you revising? There's only the present moment, Diab. Everything serves its purpose. Remember that. Every moment serves its purpose. There's nothing to revise. You can't mess anything up. It's impossible. You're unlimited. You can never mess anything up. Always remind yourself that. Everything serves its purpose. The more you do these practices, you're going to look back and see. Everything serves its purpose. What the heck am I revising? Don't waste your time on none of that. Sleep tapes. I never did them, Raquel, but if it helps you sleep, why not? I think it's just a preference, a sleep tape. It's like a sleep meditation tape, I guess, right? So I never liked anything like that because it gave me weird dreams. But I've heard people say they absolutely love that kind of stuff and they sleep so good and they love it. So I think it's a preference. I meditate myself to sleep. I actually meditate and then fall asleep. I don't even say something never happened, because when you start changing your energy, like, everything makes sense. It's almost like, and it kind of starts to shift too. Like, you see things differently. It's all perception. So the more you start to feel better, guys, and you do these practices that I talk about, you do start to feel better. So you look back and, like, I would say, like, oh, well, you know what? That served a purpose. My parents, like, they did the best they can with what they had. And they did, this and that. It all serves a purpose. So there's no, like, you don't have to say nothing ever happened. It serves a purpose, and it'll make sense the more you start to feel better. Because again, you start to perceive things differently in a more positive way. All right, I'm going to jump off, guys, because my kid, I got to feed my kids. Yes, it's Billy. Thanks for confirming, Christine. Hi, Tail. I'm about to jump off, guys. I feel bad for the people that just jumped on, but I am going to try to jump on here later. And don't be alarmed. And I'm so glad Linda said feeling better is better than, and just it made me think of, like, yes, it gets better and better, but, like, at times you're going to think, like, oh my God, is this even working? I can't tell you how many times I said that. It is always working. That's what I always want people to know. Even in those times where you don't feel good, it is working. Because the times you don't feel good, it's giving you an opportunity to go within. Anytime you don't feel good, it's giving you an opportunity to go within and get quiet and still your energy as much as you can. So those moments are so powerful. They are serving you more than feeling good's great. I love when I feel good. I'm loving life. I'm listening to music. Life is good. But when I'm not, I know, even though it doesn't feel good, it's serving me. And you actually want to focus on that, like on that discomfort. Get out of your head. Stay quiet as much as possible. Stay calm as much as possible. If you're in a situation or if you're somewhere, do some breath work. I used to do breath work at work. It's all serving you. It's giving you an opportunity to go within. Biggest thing, keep it to yourself. Keep it to yourself. Okay, guys, I'm going to jump on. I just said I've been live for 90 minutes. All right, guys, I think I'll be back later today because all my kids' school stuff's done. So I'm so happy that's done. So now I'm, like, more free. So, all right. Okay. All right, guys. Thanks again. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys. Thank you, guys. Thanks, Christine, Bobby, Mara.